When it comes to games like Pokemon Diamond, I feel like the focus is so often on the battle themes. If you just search theme music from Pokemon Diamond, you're gonna see battle themes before you see a lot of the other things. But while those themes are obviously incredible, they're highly energetic, it's like the thing that has the action in the game, I'm gonna bet that for a lot of you, it probably wasn't where you spent the most time. For a lot of you, I'm sure that the ones that are burned so deeply into your memory are the ones you lived in. It's the town themes. Oh man, this is like all over the place. I mean, the immediate thing that came to mind was, I'm listening to this and I'm like, is this gonna be like a bossa kind of vibe, right? Look at the way that this, even just the intro, the way that it's set up. So this whole thing's gonna be in the key of C, and the very first chord that we get is a D minor 7 chord, so it's the 2 chord. But we're gonna do something really cool in order to set this whole theme up, right? We have these 4 chords that lead us to the 5 chord to set up our 1, and they go like this. It goes from the D minor 7, and then you might expect just a 2-5-1, D minor 7 to G7, and that leads us to C. But instead of the G chord in the middle, before we get C, we get something else instead. We go from the D minor 7 to this D flat major 7, right? And then we get our C. Now look what that does with our root motion. We start on D, we drop a half step, and then we finally get our C chord, and then we leave the whole thing on a 5 chord, but it's not just a 5 chord, because that 5th is raised. It's an augmented. G augmented. What's more interesting to me is that D flat major 7 chord, because what is that? That is a tritone substitution. Let's talk about what that means very briefly. If we're in the key of C, our 5 chord is gonna be G7, right? And in fact, that's where we end up when we land on that G augmented chord. But in a normal 2-5-1, sometimes we don't want to use that G. Maybe we just want a different color for some reason. So what can we do? Well, we can substitute that 5 chord. We can get rid of it, and instead we can use a chord built on the tritone away from that chord, which doesn't matter which direction you go, that's gonna land you on D flat. So then we wind up with D flat. We can just build a chord out of D flat. In this case, we do major 7th. You don't have to do major 7th. You could do like a dominant version of D flat. That would work fine as well. Okay, but in this case, we do a major 7th chord, it's an interesting color. I like the choice there. And then we land on the C. So that's what a tritone sub does. It basically replaces the 5, and in the process of doing so, we create a chromatic motion to get us from the 2 to the 1. You don't have to just be doing a 2-5. It can work, for example, like let's take, for example, if we were gonna do a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. We can go from this E chord, instead of jumping to the A, we can use the tritone of that, which is E flat. Now we create a longer chromatic motion. See how we just move down? That's what's so brilliant about tritone subs. And literally the 2nd chord of this entire theme is a tritone substitution. What a brilliant choice that is. And it works so perfectly as well. And actually, one of my favorite town themes in this entire game that I don't cover in this video because I've talked about it before, that's Jubilife City. A lot of you may know that. I feel like it's one of the more popular ones. But you guys, check this out. So I literally made a piano arrangement of Jubilife City and an entire course on how to play it. It's like a mini course, and the whole thing is inside of my brand new Better Piano system, and we are literally days away from the Black Friday sale this year. I wanted to do something absolutely massive, and so here's what it's gonna be. I'm offering you guys access to the brand new Better Piano system. It is the biggest project I've ever worked on. I've been working on it literally for years. It's a culmination of everything I've learned doing this channel, teaching music, playing music, about how I can best help you start to learn how to play this instrument. And this Black Friday, it's gonna be 75% off. But that is just the beginning, because this year we're doing 3 free bonuses when you make that purchase. Bonus number 1 is an entire additional course. It's part 1 of my Better Piano improv system, and that's gonna be my Intro to Improvisation course. It's another entire course in addition to the Better Piano system. But that's not all, because bonus number 2 is another additional course. I built a course all about modes and how to use different modes to improvise. That's part 2 of the Better Piano improv system. You're gonna get that as well. And part 3, I wrote a book. It is 50 choruses on 10 of the most well-known jazz standard chord progressions ever. And we created 40 downloadable backing tracks, all different versions. You can have ones with piano, without piano, with even Rhodes accompaniment if you just want that, if you just want piano bass. It's all there. This is an absolutely massive bundle. It's over a $600 value, and this Black Friday it's gonna be available for 99 bucks. So if you wanna get in on that, there's a link in the description with more information. It's not available yet, so hold your horses, but it is gonna be available very, very soon, right on Black Friday. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. So if you wanna learn how to play Jubilife City specifically, it's in there, and it's included with the entire Better Piano system, plus those 3 free bonuses this year. So be sure to take advantage of that. And you guys, that is how I support the work that I do here on the channel. If you like what I do here and you've ever wanted to support it, and if you've ever wanted to learn how to do some of this stuff for yourself, that's gonna be the best way to do it. And I am so appreciative of your support. So thank you so much. Let's keep going. There's so many layers going on, right? Honestly, there's really simple chord progression going on. We walk up from our 1 chord to the 2, to the 3, then we go right to the 4, and then we flip the 4 minor before going to our 5, which we've already established when we played the intro. We said, hey, this is gonna be a G augmented chord. That brings us back to the 1, walk it up again, and then we go back to that 4, 5 chord, and now we get to the next section, which we're gonna land on our 4 chord. Talk about consonant harmony. There's that F7 chord. Wow, oh, there's a lot of stuff happening right there. Here in the B section, we start on this C chord, and then the next one we get is the 2, but we've now made that dominant, right? In my world, I would call that a secondary dominant. It's basically a dominant chord that would normally be a minor chord, right? Turned it major, made it a dominant chord, and that's like a really nice, like... And then from here, we might expect sometimes to hear a 4, but in this case we don't. We turn that secondary dominant chord back to a minor 7th chord, because we're gonna set up a really, to be honest, a kind of an odd motion here. We're gonna go. That right there is not what you expect at all. Let me show you what you do expect in that scenario. If we played a D minor 7 chord, and then we set up this E7 chord, where do you think it's gonna go? Almost every single time it's gonna go to an A minor. Right? That sounds like a billion different songs you've heard, but this one doesn't. It goes D minor 7, E7, and then to B flat dominant. That's really interesting. And then we really quickly touch on C before going to the 5. I'm sorry, going to the 4? Like, what are we doing? D minor 7, E7, B flat 7. What? Woo! Oh, yeah, that's like like our bossa vibe right there. That right there. It's so sick. It's so cool. The town themes in any Pokemon game, like the whole point of them is they're not meant to hype you up. They're meant to ground you. You know what I mean? Like, you just got done doing this battle, and now you've got to, like, collect yourself. Maybe you're just wandering around, to be honest. Maybe you take your DS and just, like, set it on your bed and leave it open, and you're just listening to the music from Hearthome. I don't know how these became etched into your memory, but these themes just indicate to you, like, hey, this is a place where you don't have to worry about fighting anybody. You're safe. You've arrived. You're chilling. You're just, like, that's the whole idea. Like, check this one out. Excuse me? What just happened? This is a key change right at the beginning from C major into E major. We're going from this home base to this home base. Okay, for no reason at all. Maybe there is a reason. Maybe it's coming off of a different theme or something. I don't even know, but what a way to start a theme. This F major is functioning like the 4 chord, releasing like it's a plagal cadence, 4, 1. And then, as we know, we can change key literally anywhere you want. All you gotta do is throw a 5 in front of it, and it works. We get this B7 chord, and that releases... like a D. Ultimately, it's a D7. We might hang out on the sus there for a second. Each of those dominant chords is exactly where we're going. They each might have a moment of like a suspended fourth, like that sound, and then we go back to E major. What a turnaround! I mean. You want to talk about how to get back to E major. So we started, this is our 1 chord, we went to our 2 chord, and then it's almost like we were going to set up going back to that 2 chord, but instead we go to the 5, and then we jump up from there a minor 3rd. Oh, back to it, and that sets us up for the 1 again. All the layers in here. Listen to that. That's why the intro's like that. Check that out at the very end. So we do all this, like we're going from the 4 chord, minor 4, 3, and then we get like this, what do you call this? I mean, it's the 1 chord, but we flipped it major. And now we go 2, 5, 1. Climb up to the 4, minor 4, same thing again. 3, 6, 2, 5, but we're holding that F sharp in the bass because we're going to drop it a half step. We're going to play. I understand now. So what we're doing, this whole thing, the way that we're going to loop it is we sit on this F major 7, and then we sort of resolve that, and it puts us a half step away from our 5 chord to turn the whole thing around. So we've talked about this before, how like these things are loops. They're meant to loop really well so that you almost don't even notice that they're looping, and that's how you can listen to them over and over and over again for extended periods of time, and it doesn't become super obvious that they're looping. This is how they do it. The reason that we had that really bizarre turnaround in the beginning is because we're going to use that bizarre turnaround at the end, but now that we have context for what the whole harmonic structure is doing, it doesn't seem bizarre at all. It's literally like a 2 chord to the flat 2 chord, as if we're going to go like that. I mean, listen to how much that makes sense. If you just ended the whole thing that way, you'd be like, yeah, perfect. That sounds really cool. And what is that F? It's a tritone sub. Like we've been talking about since the beginning of this video. This one. Oh, an E blues? Are we for real? We're using, all right, so this is a 12-bar blues. That's like the point. That's like essentially the whole structure of this. But we're using we're using some variations on a 12-bar blues. So normally we would just expect it to be like 1, 4, 1, right? And then we go back to the 4. And in its most simple form, we go back to the 1. Then we go to the 5. Back to the 4, to the 1. That's the 12-bar blues, right? But there are so many different variations we can play on the 12-bar blues, and here we use some pretty neat ones. 4, 1. That's normal. Then we go to the 4, walk it up so that our 1, we're now on the 5 in our bass, and then walk that down. Do we hear? Normally, when we do that particular version of the blues, we expect to hear like a walk down. Then we get a 2-5-1, so it's a little more jazz oriented. This one is basically that, pretty much. But then we get this whole. Everything is full of tritone subs. This is literally tritone subs. We go. Wow, I didn't even think about this. All right, here's what we would normally expect as a turnaround. E7, C sharp 7, F sharp minor 7, B7. That's a normal turnaround. But if each one of those second, so like not this one, but if we swap out this one, leave this one, swap out this one, we wind up with this. What's a tritone away from C sharp? It's G. That's what we get. G7. Then we play our normal F sharp minor chord, and then normally it'd be our 5, but what's a tritone away from that? F. That's how we wind up with E7, G7, F sharp minor 7, F7. This whole thing is just a bunch of tritone substitutions for the Nintendo DS. What? It's just so insane. I've always been incredibly impressed by the Pokemon Diamond music, and yeah, this is no exception. That is for sure.